Okay, guys. Here we are with the last game of my Athenian League groups. This one I am playing GarMadjuda. And we are in this one. I'm assuming you've watched the other ones before this in order. But yeah, this one here, we are competing for the top spot in the group. If I go 2-1 in here, we're both equal on wins and losses, which I think would put me in first on the head-to-head standing. But obviously, if I get a 3-0, then I will top the groups, okay, and get to go straight through to the semi-finals and avoid having to play the quarters. So this one here is my home map. I pick Loki on Midgard. I was expecting one of his Norse gods, and I wanted to force him off a land map. But here he picks Kronos, so it's obviously something he does have in his bag of tricks here is Kronos. And honestly, I don't even build a dock. I think he's going to 330 crush me, and there's no way I want to up at 5 minutes after making a dock, right? So I just want to be up as quick as possible with hearses to defend this. So we go by putting our first three vills onto gold with a dwarf. Then once we've got the temple out and we got enough for this next dwarf sort of thing, we're going to move over here and they're going to grab 10 wood each. And once they get 10 wood each, that's enough for the house, and that's all the wood I need. Everyone can go to food, make a couple of hearses before I get deconstructed, all of that kind of stuff, right? So we're just playing purely to deal with him, okay? We're not playing for anything else. My philosophy on this matchup is if you survive the crush, then you usually go on and win it. You just got to survive in a good fashion, so don't lose villagers, don't lose units, and everything should be fine. So as you can see, quick tempo coming down at 2 minutes here. It's going to give us the opportunity to make more Hersa, and if he deconstructs it now, then it still gives me the opportunity to make them before his myth units come out. So we're going to get the temple up, we're going to get the house up, we're going to obviously just keeping all of these buildings nicely in our base in range of this TC. Yeah, keeping everything nice and safe. So we've got 2 Hersas queued up. We're trying to get some little walls down, but taking a little bit of time for our gold to come in. That's completely fine. So yeah, I knew from my spy seeing the villager on gold and 3 on food that he's not made a dock as well. Okay, so I'm completely fine skipping the water. I'm not falling behind doing this or anything. So I did send that early berserk to make sure I check that all out, and that is what is going on. So we're going to have to make one more villager here. I think I could have cleaned this build up and I might have overgathered gold just a little bit here maybe. But this is okay. This is okay. I knew the idea of this build. I didn't have it down to a T, but it's all right. So yeah, one more dwarf's going to come out. He's up through Leto. He's coming. He's got double automaton. So yeah, for me, the way you defend this is pretty simple. You just don't miss resources. I don't care what resources I get. I'm going to get cows and I'm going to get my boar. I don't care about the wood. As soon as I advance with my temple, my 2 hearses that come out, I can make hearses. Then I can start doing what I need to do. I can get back on that gold mine. I've got 260, 70 gold stockpiled, ready to go. I mean, 150 that is of the temple, sorry. So I've got 100 gold ready to go. So I can make 2 or 3 units with the gold that I've got. So yeah, I'm completely fine. We're just gonna gather whatever we can while this cheesy pressure comes on really early in the game, right? So yeah, need to remember that he's sacrificed a bit to do this. You know, his eco is kind of weak and he's really relying on getting a lot of pressure from these guys. But yeah, as you can see, you know, we're getting idled. It's significant, but we're not going to lose any villages. And we're going to be advancing very, very shortly. Managed to sneak that berserk in. Really, really important he stays alive. And now we're advanced. Drop the healing spring, going to heal up all those vills. Yeah, and these automatons are going down. So we're going to get 3 picks on the automatons. So this is super, super massive for us. The little Hersa hiding in the town center trick has really paid off for us this game. So this is great. And we see Terma coming. So yeah, I need to get some wood out. Things are a little bit rough. Yeah, need to get onto wood. Need to get back onto gold. Need to get some raiding cavalry out. Yeah, we've been quite affected by this rush, but we've survived it without losing any vills. So very happy to play this one out. Pulling that last boar there. Yeah, really nice map actually, Midgard, for dealing with this stuff. The increase in food across the board here actually like is interesting on these water maps where there is the option for a bit more like hybrid gameplay, or you know, if you don't have any water, then it's not the end of the world. So we just want to look to secure this gold mine up now, guys. He's pressuring with these Terma, being a little bit of a fly, a bit of a mosquito gameplay, just with the hidden runs with the Terma. As you can see, you know, they don't do much damage, but they do enough that if you don't pay attention, you don't dodge, then he will just keep picking off like units, while he just spams out these Terma really, really easily, and the goal obviously is mass, so that's kind of the goal. So we just need to keep alive. We can take a little bit of chip damage from him, that's fine, but we're just going to send him back to the spring, and they can get healed up. And then as soon as we reach a substantial population, he can only hit and run me as far as his base or important resource, right? So right now he can hit and run me because if I chase him all the way to his gold mine, by the time I get there, he's going to have killed a lot of my units, right? But if you get full pop and you have some PS armor upgrades and you run at him, by the time you get to his gold mine, he's only killed 3 units. And then he has to fight you. He has to he can't keep hitting and running, because if he does, then he doesn't get gold, right? So this is the weakness of this kind of gameplay, is that at some point you do actually just have to stand your ground and fight. And if you can get to the point where, yeah, nice little catch from him with those, little spider lair there from Leto. So yeah, if you can get to the point where you can run across the whole map, and the damage he gives to you as you're running across the whole map, it doesn't mean you'll lose the fight, then you're sweet. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to build up to here. Troll special unfortunately missing. Nice jukes from him. He's just, yeah, being super mosquito right now. But you can dodge them, as you can see, with the raiding cavalry. And he's having to put a truckload of APM into managing these guys. If he makes one small mistake, he loses them all. Yeah, just fixing up some of our macro here. Like I said, this is a real messy game, just with all that early pressure. Next call of business here, though, is to get a dock going, because there is a lot of fish on this map, and as much as I've not taken it straight away, there's no reason not to take it now. Okay, so we see a little fish spot here. No idea why I can't make that dock, but there we are. Yeah, so we're going to jump down and we're going to start expanding. We've got these walls up here. He deconstructs the wall to get onto the gold. Interesting move. But he is going to get through into it and cause a little bit more pain. As you can see, a couple of volleys from those Terma does start getting my Hursa a bit low, but as you can see, he's just 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. I get 5 picks with the troll there. So I've killed 5 units and not lost anything, and I can go back and heal. Obviously, my gold mine is going to get annoyingly pressured here, so this is called trading HP. I'm using HP as a resource on my units, and I'm using it in a way that means I can keep gathering gold, right? I kind of stand my ground. I'll let my units take some damage, so that I can keep gathering this gold mine. So same with that raiding cavalry there, just stand him in the front, juke some shots. He's here in my face, but I'm still gathering gold, and I've not lost a unit. I'm going to lose that Hursa there and a raiding cavalry, so I have lost a couple of units, which is unfortunate. But yeah, as you can see, he stood here for 20-30 seconds, and he did kill a troll. He has killed a couple of units, but I've been mining, and now because I'm keeping his army here and he can't really progress, I open up my opportunity to go raid him as well. He gets another pick, so yeah, this was a little unfortunate. My unit control just not quite enough to ensure I'm dodging everything. But now we've killed, I think, 2 or 3 citizens. I wasn't paying full attention on my perspective because I've got a lot of things to manage here. But from watching the replays back, I think I did get about 2 or 3 here. So really, really good to get those trades back. Big annoying mass here now, but as you can see, he's not paying attention. And he just manages to turn in time. You know, he's microing that stuff there, but we're going to get... That's going to be 3, 4. We've killed 4 Terma there now. And we've taken a bit of damage, but we just come back and heal. So really, really nice. I just know how Midgard works, guys. Most people do, but sorry, it sounded a bit ego. But you just know that there's hunt around the outside of this map. You'll find the walruses, right? So I've flipped it a little bit with my villagers in the bottom. They are idle there now. But yeah, we're looking for this land food source. While the food gets going, we've got a lot of wood, so we just really got to get these docks out, get these buildings out, get spending, because things are about to explode. Midgard, Anatolia, these kinds of maps, the snowball can get away from you very, very quickly, and if you're not on top of things, one of your resources are just going to completely skyrocket. You're going to be capped by one resource being too low, while you get floating heaps of the other, etc. So they are quite tough to balance, but when you do balance them, you can absolutely explode. You can, within a couple of minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes, you just go from having gathered 10,000 resources to 20,000. It's really crazy how it just gets out of control. We get a little flank here. We kill a lot. We get a Draugr spawn. Really nice from us. While it's going on, we have Hursa in his base. We've found our walruses. It took a long time, but we are on them now. So yeah, first game jitters, of course. So what can you do? Waiting for our medium cavalry to come along now. Going to be a big help to dealing with these Terma. And yeah, forcing a lot of idle time. This is a really nice move as well, because I just moved out for that gold mine, and I moved out for this hunt. But by sending those 4 or 5 Hursa to him, it really forces him to kind of come home and deal with that. This now opens up the position for me to get some wax on his forward base, and kill off some oracles, things like that. And yeah, take the time to get the fish rolling. Eco ups coming now through, fish upgrade, pickaxe. We got to get going, get spending. I'm making some herdmen now. I want a handful of herdmen because he's mainly Terma. Now, if you're going to go pure herdman, it doesn't work. But if you mix in the herdman to your Hursa raiding cavalry, if the herdmen ever get on top of these guys, they get melted. Now, I was just waiting for his Terma there. Yeah, I was expecting a raid to come. So we managed to get a really nice position and pick off a bunch of Terma nice and quickly. These guys can come back around and try hit this second gold mine he's looking to secure. We get pulled over the spiders and he gets a lot of damage out. I see some catapulties that are trying to deal with these raiding cavalry, but unfortunately catapulties are no match for the Hursa and the troll spawn, but we kind of leave them alone. We want to get round onto these citizens here. So yeah, we're going to catch him out there. He's going to come through with some units, but if he's going to come chase his Hursa, yeah, I'm going to switch up my attack onto this forward base. I'm also just going to try snipe these and kind of run through. And you're going to have to kind of follow and might get idled a bit more. So yeah, we got the time to take that one down. And just getting these buildings out. I've got 16 on food, 17 on wood, 13 on gold. It's 13 minutes in the game. Yeah, things are going to start getting away from us if we don't get a handle on things. We've got to get these buildings out. We've got to get spending these resources. A few more little spider layers to clear out. That is okay. His Terma make a bit of short work of my Hursa. Looks like that wall he had just kind of got me stuck in that little kind of alcovey corner there at the top between the forest, the water, and his dock and his wall. And so now we're just kind of thinking, how do we progress this game? So we've got, you know, potential heroic age coming from GarMadjuda, which could bring something like a chaos more than likely. I wouldn't expect Kronos to go really anything else versus particularly a Loki who has access to maybe like a flaming weapons. But we're kind of just saying, let's get full kind of pop here. So he jumps to the heroic here. I know I want to get there in a reasonable time, but also at the same time, he's just spent a lot of resources on heroic. He does have chaos to make kind of up for it. But yeah, I don't want to take my foot off the pedal here, really. So I'm down to just keep the chaos going on this map, basically. Heaps of fish on this map. This was a crazy spawn. I was practicing a little bit on Midgard before this, obviously. You do get some really spread out spawns, but this one was just abundant in fish. So really nice, just to accelerate through the mid game here. A couple of units just to harass the docks on the side. And look, we're not trying to win water, we're just trying to raid water, okay? So my Midgard for me is land map with some fish. I think if you start spending too much on the water here, it's gonna get pretty dodgy. As you can see, my resources now, we're ready to go to the heroic age. As he's already shown his hand, and he is up Hyperion, I'm going to click through Njord. So this is going to give me access to these Jarls, which hopefully will be a really great use. He catches these raiders, and he does cast Chaos on them, so he trades nicely here and kills a bunch of these guys off. But as you can see, he is Catapultes and Terma. So I've got some Herdmen here, and I've got Throwing Axemen as well. So plus the Draga, plus the Troll, he doesn't feel like he can kind of come into my buildings and fight, and probably rightly so. I think that is a fight that I do win. If my Herdmen, which do not die to the Catapultes that quickly, because the Catapultes do no damage, if they get anywhere near those Terma, they're just all dead. And no way his Terma can walk into my Throwing Axemen with some Herdmen there, right? So nice unit comp for me. I always think Norse unit comps excel with a bit of diversification. So this kind of, Hursa, Berserk, Herdman with the RCTA. And then we see a really interesting play here from GarMadjuda. He is trying to make this little choky play with the time shifting. Unfortunately, I just don't think he has the units right now. And obviously I've Herdman, right? So my Herdman don't really care, if it was any other unit, maybe they can do the damage, but the Terma just not going to be able to do that. So unfortunately, nice idea from him, but just didn't have the unit power to pull that one off. We're going to get our Kraken going around, looking at getting rid of some of his ships. He's also got an annoying myth unit as well. Need to get my boats in. But now we've cast our Walking Woods, and we've kind of got a lot of his army off the map. We're ready to start our own pushing, and get some docks up on this side too. Kraken going to come around and have a search for some boats to kill, and also scout out this final side, which I find even more fish on. So really good. We are missing this final fish upgrade. Should have gotten that a lot sooner, particularly looking at my wood and gold situation. You can see how we're struggling to spend this, and things are just getting a bit away from us. We could easily be on 3 town centers right now, kind of thing. Fishing upgrade, more boats, more units, hill forts, buildings all over the map, yada. You really just got to keep the pace going on this map. So yeah, we're going to get a hill fort town center, so we are starting to spend up. This Kraken is going to do good, and now we are going to be able to spend a lot of our wood on here, get 3 more docks up. It's another 12 fish spots, and if we take his one there, there's 15 fish spots on that left side there. Just a huge amount of food for me to be able to sit on. So really good just to always just keep expanding out on this map and taking all the fish spots that are available. Don't just start with your first few or maybe grab another dock or so. Just why not? Just absolutely get booming. He's going to come in and try stop this town center, but we've got a nice ball of trolls with a bit of a front line here too, so not going to be able to progress too much. Couple more boats out just to keep the raiding going. Looks like his myth unit has died to my dock, and my myth unit is still alive on the back. So we're trading really positively here. Next things for me is just keeping an eye on all of these gold mines. This right-hand town center secures kind of 1, 2, 3 gold mines for me, but then also gets me eyes on his other gold mine. So that's really good. But we do just need to get a look on the left-hand side of this map here. Somewhere my boat must have died there, so not sure what's going on. There's a lot going on the map right now. We got, 3 points on the water plane, plus the land, trying to sort the economy. So really high action game. Unfortunately, my gold went idle when I clicked it over there. A lot of bugs in this game still I'm finding, just moving units around and clicking on things and weird stuff goes down, but that's all right. A little bit spooky with my throwing axeman forming that concave around the building, so we just kind of get him in a bit closer and a bit safer. And I'm kind of looking to take some fights here now. The reason is I'm just full pop. So I'm very happy just to take kind of fights, right? I'm full pop with so much fish and gold, so many villages. We just got to fight, and as you can see, my army doing very, very nicely into his. We see him come out from this gold mine, but we do have a barracks. We get a chaos used, and yeah, my very nice army is suddenly completely depleted. We've dropped down to 143 pop, but we are going to be able to start pressuring on this middle gold mine and keep that Kraken moving around. I don't really need to move my whole army to this area. He's not gathering gold right now. And I kind of want to, before I leave this area, get a hill fort up so that when I do leave it, it's kind of secure. And these satyrs were doing a lot of damage to the trolls. So chucking them all on gold. I see my wood situation's great. I'm just going to put 15 gatherers on gold. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Especially at this point in the game where you are just pumping units out. You need gold, gold, gold. Really probably shouldn't be taking these little scrappy fights like this now. I should just be out of his base, getting my hill fort off and getting to full pop. Would love to see a food wood sell and get these other town centers going as well. Just really just solidify my position on this map. Basically, if I do have a weak point and he takes something on the map, well, I've still just got the rest of it. Probably could have done a forward temple and some Jotuns a bit more now as well, looking back at this. But to be honest, I was kind of feeling in cruise control here. This game did feel win, kind of looking at the score and the access to resources I have and just kind of knowing how this matchup tends to go. Once the Norse is stabilized, it's very tough for the Atlantean player. Finally get that food up, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, better late than never. These Jarls, just like, look how well they tank these Arcus. They're barely getting tickled here. There was only like 3 or 4 Jarls as well, so just an absolute super unit. And they're still alive, those 4 Jarls. So the Ringgather Jarls really pulling through, and yeah, GarMadjuda is going to tap out. GG on that one. So that's game 1 done. That was my home map, so we are going to move on to his home map now. I think we had a little bit of trouble getting to the game. So his map here is going Elysium, and I'm going to pick up on the Isis for this one here. So yeah, Elysium, really nice map. Do love playing on this one. So yeah, we'll pick the Isis into his Odin. I needed an answer for his Odin. I wanted to save Odin for Land Unknown to match his Odin. If he won this one with Odin, then he has to play something else, and I can just save Odin for the last game on the Unknown. So, ready to swing the Isis axe at him, and hopefully we can pick up the dub and then play an Odin mirror for the last game. Was the plan, was my draft theory here. So yeah, I've been practicing this matchup a little bit. GarMadjuda has a different style to a lot of Odin mains. He does this early temple build. He will have 3 or 4 Hursa plus his Berserk in your face at 4 minutes, which really kind of changes how the matchup is played. It gives him a lot of tempo on the map. And the Egyptian player is forced more into just dealing with that early pressure. There's going to be an early second Valkyrie and people on your gold mine and stopping you building your buildings. And yeah, so the way I was kind of like looking at it and planning this matchup and my preparation was I'm kind of just playing the player. It's like a game of poker here. You know, I'm not really playing the matchup too purely or blindly. I really want to play the player. And I want to be able to deal with his early units, and then once I've dealt with his early units and secured my base and position, then we can look for counter raids on him. But also just being careful that we never overextend too much ourselves, leaving all of our vills in our position vulnerable because he is a big raider, loves his raiding cavalry and Valkyries, so just have to always be cautious there. So going for a earlier house villager, obviously with ISIS you can delay that one, but here versus GarMadjuda style, we just need to get the houses up, right? Who cares? It's not the most perfect pretty build, or anyway, you get the point. We just got to make sure that we deal with these units. So I don't want my gold. I don't want to have to not be mining gold for a little bit this game. So I kind of got 3 or 4 obelisks out, 4 obelisks out now. Because I know his build order and how he plays, I'm already seeing units just all around the map. It's time just to get my priest home, right? I don't need to lose damage. I don't need to lose a priest. I don't need to give him damage on it. I'm not trying to sneak up crazy obelisks. As I said before, my game plan is to put my resources into his early pressure. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do here. So we're going to bring the priest home, and we're going to use the priest to get obelisks up around my base so I can see where this guy is trying to move, you know? And we're going to do a 430, so, you know, it's not super fast. I definitely could have done this one a faster. But yeah, I decided, hey, look, I actually want a little bit better of an economy. I'm putting all my tools in the defense basket. I'm going to use more villages early to wall and secure. See, I'm having a little bit of trouble finding where I want that wall. And getting this monument up, I really don't want a forest fire on this forest to open up my gold mine, or just, yeah, be a pain in the ass and stop me getting gold, and then my barracks is delayed, and yeah, you get the jazz. And so we get that monument up. And we see his units coming around. We probably could have done a little bit better on this tower here to stop him coming through, make him go around a bit more, but that's okay. He's going to walk through on that one. He sees the houses here, so he's going to go around this forest, just trying to block out that exit for him as well. We're going to put all of our villagers on this, and I missed a moment here where this end villager just needs to make a mining camp and block these guys coming off here. So bit of a misplay from me. I easily could have, just with better buildings here while he turned up, just placed a foundation touching the barracks and the gold mine. He gets a vill pick for it. He's coming back to harass my hunt, but now I have an axeman out. And yeah, I'm ready to trade some HP. He wants to pick the Sanubite off, but I can just jump away and let my axeman kind of do some damage and my TC do some fire and then heal him up. So once again, using hit points as a resource so that you can get some good trades in. We've got a Valkyrie coming around the back, but, you know, we have a priest and a pharaoh. I don't think he's going to be able to kill anything here, and nor does he. Maybe he could have sniped that villager, but he might have lost that Valkyrie for it. He's got a second Valkyrie coming usually, and I think he does this game too. So you want to keep that Valkyrie alive. The Valkyrie's effectiveness really scales up a lot when there's 2, right? They both can heal each other. So unfortunately, this Vil couldn't teleport through that tower. Started taking a funny way around, but we didn't manage to block him there, but that's okay. We'll pop him out and get that armory built. So we've got a nice back hunt here, which means he will too, but really, really good for us. Little trick here, we want to get this wall up, and this wall to me is really, really important. It protects my hunt, it protects him coming in through the back or out through the back. It's really saying you can only come in through the front of my base and leave through the front of my base. It gives me a lot of angles to defend and catch units. So just making sure when I get this wall up, they've got a couple of units with them. There's the Spearman, an Anubite, and a Priest. I'm covering the Raiders, I'm covering the Myth unit, and I can heal. So yeah, just important you commit those units to that wall. If he did turn up while I'm trying to build it, I lose a vil. I don't have this walled. Yeah, it gets quite messy. So just really respecting here. We're going to come up, get some more obelisks going. We just want to extend our vision lines. He's faster than me, right? So the mat tempo kind of belongs to him because of that. Because I'm not at the stage in the game where I can just walk at him and kill him, right? So we need to play with vision. That's going to give us the advantage. Well, not the advantage, it might do, but it's going to make up for his speed advantage, right? We're going to have more time to respond to things. This was a little bit of a skill check. I think he should have just forest fired this, but it was only like 5 spearmen and an Anubite, and I was going to just jump the Anubite over the wall and then run the spearmen back. I just wanted to see how he might play that one out, and he did kind of run, so yeah, kind of interesting. I feel like he could have easily turned double Valkyrie onto my Anubite and taken a good trade there. Like I said, I had an escape route for the Anubite already, so I was, kind of just seeing if he runs and he loses, but if he turns and fights, I have an escape kind of thing, anyway. So we've got our back hunt now. I saw my gold floating up too much, so we're just going to move half off gold and put them on food. Get up to like 18 on food, so we can really just get spearmen and Anubites going. Just tracking his army. You can see the value of this obelisk here. They usually would have gone by out of vision. I'm just sort of able to see where he's moving, and I can meet him. Hello, surprise. You know, this kind of stuff. This is what the obelisks allow you to do. I see he's building houses, and I know he really likes the wall on this map, so we just want to get out and start getting onto those things. Got a little bit of an issue here, so we are just going to delete this granary. Sounded easier to me in the moment. Anubite auto jump, something else. I wish there was a feature you could turn off the auto jump. Honestly, in these like high intense games, I just sometimes don't have the time to go through my Anubites manually and check which ones have jump or not. I wish you could just default turn them all off. So yeah, that would be a nice change for the future. Losing the Anubites to things like that, one that just comes out of your temple and at the moment some units drive by and the Anubite jumps over, and it's just a bit janky to me, but it's okay. And yeah, we're kind of pushing his units away on the top, and we're just looking to pressure these buildings with spearmen. We don't need to be chasing his units around the map. Right now I don't really need to look for vills. He's spent resources and time putting these buildings and walls up, and if I take them away from him, he's going to lose a bit of power and presence on the map, in my opinion. Grabbing this hack armor up into Norse, really good to get early. See these villages down here, his units are coming over, and we're going to try get a little bit of a catch surround, but we make our first kind of mistake here, and that we push these units away and he's going to come through a wall and we're going to attack this house, but we leave these guys really out in the open, and my priest just shouldn't be here. I know he's coming for these guys. He sees me attacking and my brain is just kind of off, and I just didn't really respect that that's the move that he could make. Gonna send this little group down obviously to raid there. And now we see him making this move, and yeah, I kind of see the position that I've put myself in here. But we're just going to focus fire the priests all on one Valkyrie, and at least try to trade some damage back. Fortunately these guys kind of come in time, and we're not going to lose too much, and we get a really big raid. So overall, it went well for us. Maybe this was a bait. It's not, but it's kind of worked out in that way. So some really nice picks for us. I kind of back away from this dwarf now, but in hindsight I should have just killed that dwarf and should have just kept going into his base. I think he's coming for these guys, and that's why I ran them back, and he is, and he's going to catch them out, as you can see on the mini-map. Having a little bit of trouble. He's got a little wall here, and this ruins the pathing of these guys. There's a wall there, so they go back. And and then get stuck. I should have just clicked them to the town center, and then when I got to the wall, I could jump over, right? But unfortunately, yeah, a little wall ruins my pathing. Nice wall placement from him. So he gets a little pickup. And yeah, they both go down. That's unfortunate. My spearmen are going to push through and just put pressure on these houses again. He's only got a little bit of military, so he either has to use those hearses to build them up somewhere, or he's going to have to use villages and idle himself to make his houses. So yeah, just killing Norse houses, always a good one if you can. And yeah, we kind of predicting his movements here. We're killing those houses. I left a couple to kill the houses while I sent the majority of my force back to my gold mine. I know that this is where Egyptian is weak, is moving out for the second gold. So as I moved out, I made sure I got all of these walls up, and that my units were ready to sort of run straight there or already on their way there, as you saw. And yeah, he's going to come in and try kind of push into here, but it's going to be really tough now. I've got spearmen and a choke with these walls. It's quite tough for him to progress. And yeah, unfortunately, we are going to have to start getting some kind of farms out. There's a little bit of hunt left on the top, but feeling pretty unsafe going out on the map, given he is just full raiding cavalry. Managed to jump them away, but I don't I don't know. You guys not see that little waypoint? I don't know why they're not going to it. That's weird. Anyway, they survive, so life is all good. So we're really still just trying to kind of secure ourselves. I don't feel comfortable in my food economy at this stage. Our gold's doing okay. We don't see too much of the map, and we are just taking it step by step, getting all walled up. As you can see, as soon as I realize I've spent just a tiny bit too much time attacking that wall, we just run all our units back here because he's just going to swing around and hit where I'm not, right? And we're going to take Boyd's advice. Build a tower behind a wall, makes the position really, really strong. So shout out to Boyd for all the little tips and tricks I do pick up for you. A lot of my gameplay, unironically, as you might see a bit of it reflected in what you've been saying and doing and casting. I do love the little things you highlight about the game. So yeah, just doing that now. Crenellation comes through as well. So we have a Cren tower with some walls. Monument going to come down too. I don't know if he's got vision on me making this monument, but if he does, he should have just forest fired as soon as he saw it being made. Give him an angle to get onto this gold mine. He needs to be able to pressure this gold, and if he doesn't, then Egyptians living the good life. We're kind of perusing about with these units. I feel pretty comfortable with my gold position now. I can have a monument, I can heal, I have a tower, and we got more units coming in there. So very happy to take this group out. And we do find a lonely mountain giant who will get picked off here. He fully responds to this, so he comes with a lot of units. He's got hearses, he's got Valkyries, and he's got his raiding cavalry. Maybe I could have got to these guys a little bit faster, but look, I just decide I'm not going to run and take all this damage. I'm just going to cast my snakes and just turn around and fight and trade some units back. We are going to kill units here. He is going to win this fight. That's all right. But while that's been happening, we open up an angle for some raids. Okay, so we pulled all of his army just to deal with that. He does manage to take serpents off the cards. So not a great play from me, but in chaos there's always opportunities, right? So we've created a bit of chaos on the map. We've managed to find this opportunity for the raid. Okay. Grabbing our survival equipments, just the way this game is feeling going. It seems to be one town center. Killing vills is a lot of value on one town center. So I want to keep these guys alive. Gonna finish those houses off. Swing back around with these spearmen, see if we can find anything else in the darkness. Would like to see more obelisks on this top corner a bit quicker. We do run into his cav. He does find me there, so nice trades from him. Not a fight I'm going to win, as you can see, but it's okay. We are going to go up through Sobek here. I really want the Sobek because it gives me the option to play the Darkwater Camels to match the speed of the raiding cavalry. Also gives me the Besukos and Sundry Mud Bricks, which I am super down to have all of those things. Maybe Netfees is correct, but I really like Sobek in the playstyle. It's one I'm a bit more comfortable with. But yeah, Netfees definitely not incorrect. But yeah, I just felt here it made a little more sense how much he's leaning into this cav. And also just how good Petsukos are on this map with how wallable it is. So that's kind of my idea. I have this really nice choke here. I should have been empowering the monument already while he's pushing in here to heal all my units. But we're still in a gold mine, so I guess it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I think a bit more value healing that. So we do turn and do it now and get a bunch of healing back on my dudes. But yeah, something I should have just been doing a little bit sooner there. And now we're going to think how we get our next gold mine. A bit of a late prosperity. Probably should have been a bit earlier, but you know, we saw that we were in a bit of a pickle. We need to get out to this next gold mine. We just need a bit of a gold influx into our economy here. A little bit of a surplus injection package, quantitative easing style. We'll deal with the inflation later. Yeah, we see some raids coming up here. Look, think about repairing this wall, but they're just not going to get there in time, and I can risk losing them. So we are just going to have to respond to that one and deal with the idle time. That's life. If I keep my vills alive, we can still progress in this game. I've already got a lot of vill kills off of him, so a small amount of idle time. Not too bad at all. And we'll just get those walls up, and now we can start knocking these walls down and thinking about where we go next. A lot of Valkyries out on the field from him. I'm going to cancel all these priests, and yeah, we're going to queue up 6 crocodiles because that is how it should go. Really need those priests over here to deal with those Valks. Spearman getting caught out a little bit here, but that's okay. We got plenty that can come through in on the queue. Yeah, as you can see, gold mine is out, a little bit awkward, but we're going to make a push through this side. My units do counter his, so I'm pretty confident I can do that. I've also pushed him off this gold, and we're going to kill more houses. We're going to have a run around and try find some more units, and now we can use that rock as well to give us some line of sight, bit of vision on some of these gold mines. Getting all of these walls up, and we are going to be able to play a good defensive game. Just making sure all of them touch the forest, just not in the mood to throw a tournament game over a little bit of wall, not making it. For some reason I clicked the idle villages, but I must have clicked the farming ones. I don't know, they were idle but still counted as food. Another little weird bug kind of going on. I don't know why that selected everyone, but there we are. But yeah, they're going to come over, help out on this gold mine, and see if we can kind of push forward on the map. Big raids coming through again. Really kind of do have to respect this. We're just going to jump in the TC and send all of our units over. He doesn't come in. Obviously, he can't see if all of my units are kind of waiting, baiting for him already. You know, he's already seen this game that both of our army movements are decent. So you do have to respect your opponent to some level. Is this a bait? And yeah, so he kind of stands around on the edge of my base here. And we're just going to use that rock just to follow those dwarves, see where they're at. He's going to push through this front position here, but as you can see, I've already kind of moved on. So I kind of just let him. I don't really respond with any units to it. A monument in a tower is going to go down, but, you know, not the end of the world. But obviously, we do need to get these gold mines. Otherwise, our game is going to be very, very tricky. He did a little switcheroo on me there, I think. I think some dwarves went to the top and some went to the bottom. I was just a bit too slow to keep track of everything and follow it. We're kind of running out of space for farms and things and just feeling the pressure of having to manage these fights that are going on. We get another nice raid here. He's going to fully respond to it and just try catch those units out. But yeah, 15 heavy spearmen. I do have locust, and then I've got some reinforcements coming here. So we're going to take this one. We're going to dump our locust on him. and just trade as much damage as we can. Getting all of those eco ups really important, and armory ups, just spend, spend, spend. And he's going to come back through onto these priests and absolutely annihilate them. So nice play from him. But at the same time, he just loses so many raiding cavalry to these spearmen. So I'm probably okay with this trade. Right now, I know I'm up villages for my raids. So if I trade equally on military fights, then I'm winning because, yeah, I'm going to have more resources to replace with. So we're okay with that one now. And yeah, we got rid of these crocodiles now. They're sitting behind these walls. It's really, really difficult for him to do anything. And now we can kind of look to push out and try grab more of these gold mines and town centers. Yeah, getting pretty close to full pop now. Are starting to float a bit of resources, so we do need to start thinking about expanding ourselves. Getting another monument up there just in case any shenanigans go down. Getting a market down. We've got some wood that we do need to sell here. Would be great to sell a bit and then get on this town center. Once again, he's just like catching small groups of units, but this Petsukos is very, very tanky. Not going to die too quickly to those raiders. Gives me a lot of time for my units to come up, and in that trade for that Petsukos, he's once again just lost a very large amount of raiding cavalry. So I'm very happy with these trades. I see his army is going to dip down to the bottom side of the map, so I'm going to kind of look for it and follow it with these units, and create pressure by killing these walls and going for these bottom side gold mines. And then hopefully that's going to give me the time to get this Migdol up on the front. Obviously a little bit risky, but I do have that rock there if anything goes wrong, and got the Petsukos, and I was pretty confident that he was more down the bottom side, and if I start a little distraction on those walls, that, yeah, he's not going to go too far. So we can see he kind of goes to respond to those spearmen, but at this point they're now got double attack, double hack, plus the Nubis, plus the heavy. They are just standing up to the raiding cavalry really, really nicely. We're going to get a huge raid on the corner breaking through now too while we get this town center. So distract while you take something on the map kind of play going on here. Keeping the walls going as well. No reason not to. Keep those Petsukos like safe and they can just stand behind walls and do really good damage. Carry on raiding with our little group down there in the corner. See what we can find. And now his army's looking quite scary. He's got a lot of hearses, which are going to deal with the spearmen a lot better. We are going to get another nice raid down there on the bottom, so his vills are looking pretty rough now. So all I need to do is survive this fight. After this raid, there's probably not too much coming back. So yeah, these next moments are all about just surviving out. We're going to just, yeah, fill that queue as best we can. Getting chariots, camels, spearmen, axemen out. Yeah, as you can see, the power of the crocs behind the wall. He's nowhere near getting through this wall. You have to have a ram to do anything to these walls. That's just the nature of the game now. And then, yeah, the DPS from those crocodiles are going to be doing very, very good. Checking in on this raiding group again, we're going to find, yeah, even more guys to kill. So we're looking super, super good now. Really happy with the last few minutes on this game. Just one more gold mine that we do need to grab. So yeah, just a little bit spooky moving out for that one. Not too keen to be whacking down walls with villages either, but you know, if it has to be done, it has to be done. We're going to send the siege tower over and help out with that. We just don't want to spend too much time. And we're getting the markets down because we only see one gold mine left now. There might be, we know there's some gold on the right, but that's a whole thing to get there. We're going to get a market up. We're going to start trickling in trade, just as, you know, the gold is starting to get pretty low and iffy on this map. He's going to be well aware of that. That's fine. So we're going to have to get a Migdol down on this position, make sure we secure it. and just finish up killing those walls with the siege and just kind of walling up everything ourselves. Yeah, his only really angle back into the game, in my opinion, right now is to kill 30 of my villagers with a crazy raid. So we're just going to play to deny that. That's kind of his win con. My win con is just to exist in this game. Once I have this gold secured, I can look for a direct push on him, and I'll be able to kill him before he'll ever be able to get to my villagers. So he has to respect that then. So that puts me in a nice position. A lot of hearses out now, so yeah, cancel the camels. We kind of just want chariot archers. And just kind of, yeah, realizing that skirmish is a little overextending. We just don't want to lose any units right now. We just want to stay close to full pop and take this fight full pop. And kind of once we do well in next big fight, we should be okay to maybe take the dub in this game. Finding another raid with 3 spearmen here, so this is absolutely massive while this is going on. He's going to respond to that with a lot of units and deal with that, but yeah, we're going to be able to keep expanding our stuff over here. Yeah, really tricky on the gold. We can only get so many villages around that gold mine, which feels a bit awkward. Do kind of want to see like 40-50 on gold and a second prosperity. I should just be casting second prosperity right now on that gold mine. No reason I'm not, and then just going straight to the mythic age here. But that's not what's happening. I'm focused on his units and this fight. So he's coming along now. Yeah, we're just going to get those spearmen out of there too. Pull the crocs back a little bit. He's going to kill a few of them, but at what cost? The axemen and the chariots are fully online on those hearses, and those hearses are all dead pretty much. Should just have the damage to carry this fight now. Plenty of units to come in. Obviously I've killed a lot of his villagers. He's just not going to be able to replace any units like I can right now. So once again, a really good fight for me when I'm up this many vills. And he's going to tap out on that one. So nicely done. That was a bit of a longer, tougher game. Really had to play that one methodically. A lot of walls, a lot of shenanigans. But now we've opened up ourselves to play Odin in the last game. So we will jump into that one. So, the unknown. And we have an Odin mirror. As suspected. And so once again, we know his build, we know his style, we know how he opens. The style I want to play is in counter to that. So yeah, that's what we're going to look for. Pretty standard Odin opening build from me. Nothing too crazy is going to go on here. But we just want to be up and ready to deal with those initial Hursa that do come. Scouting around, trying to see what this map is all about. Obviously, the unknown, you don't really know. If you play enough of it, you kind of get a little handle on some of the biomes and the types of spawns. But yeah, this one we're seeing is reasonably wallable. Alfheim-esque, a little more open. It's kind of like a marshy Alfheim cross. Lots of gold mines we're finding already. So an abundance in gold, a decent amount of food. So yeah, we'll just get this last little bit scouted out, see what it's looking like. And once again, we're seeing these kind of forests and cliffs that are going to make it wallable. Yeah, really nice for me to see, I think, given my playstyle. Bit more reactive and controlled, whereas he is kind of all out aggression. So I'm pretty happy with this map spawn. It's not like, there's nothing too weird going on. Almost just a bit of a standard map, so that's always nice. And we find a nice little hunt patch and a gold mine here too. So we've got a gold at the top, gold to the side, gold forward. Town center secures a ton of gold as well. So very interesting map. And I've been playing a little bit of Odin Mirrors recently. Shout out to Tunizin. We played one recently as well. He stomped my ass. But just gave me a little bit of advice, and I've been kind of messing around with unit comps a lot. And I think a lot of this matchup does come down to just reading the third building your opponent makes, and from there on. Usually you're going to open double Great Hall. If they don't, it's kind of trolling, and you should just know how to beat that. But usually the next question is, are they going to go for a third Great Hall, more raiders? Are they going to go for a barracks and look at either herdmen, or are they going to go for the barracks and do the TA? And the matchup's really about reading what units they're going to continue making through classical, and then finding the appropriate counter for that. Raven's going to get out and scout. Another value of Odin on this map, being the unknown, having access to the ravens. But yeah, obviously I've scouted enough to kind of know what this map's about, but yeah, always nice to find a bit more. Now I've saved my boars for the end here, and we're just going to kind of pull them in and try not let the TC hit them as well, so we get all the favor from them. So really nice that we can just pull those nice and close to the TC. Someone needs to explain the walling to me as well. Like this guy, if you notice, I placed the house and made the wall, and then he goes, and then, yeah, I should have just right-clicked him on the center bit, but then he's here, and then he runs to the other side of the wall, and it's kind of weird and janky. He could have got caught out there, and that was kind of stressing me out. I wanted that wall up quick, and I didn't really want to have to run around or jump through the tower, but yeah, maybe I should have just jumped through the tower there and sorted that one out, but that is okay. Couple of hearses coming out. Going to move on to the straggler trees now as he's about to advance. I should have just probably used more of the forest earlier. So yeah, as he comes through, nice timing from me to move onto that forest. We're just going to, we're just going to kind of run it as units with our units. We can heal them. We're just going to keep his army busy. As long as his army is having to engage with my guys, he's not engaging with my villagers. Little misplay from him. We're going to catch that one out. We're going to get a kill. We're just going to pull back onto the pigs. I suggest you guys just do this. If you can't get the gold right now, just gather something else. It's not the end of the world. I see him pressuring my house, so we're just going to see my Hersa. Once again, I'm saying you can't attack the house if I'm attacking you, right? So he has to pull out and try attack me. We're going to heal with the Valkyrie. I'm going to get more hits in, hit, and look at the damage we get to do. And then another Hersa comes out, and now he's like in too deep, right? And he's going to almost lose that Hersa. Unlucky there, but that's fine. We're really, really happy with these trades. And now my great hauls are all coming up. A little bit messy on the economy front. Idle villages in the wrong place. That's okay. Nice little raid from him back onto the hunt. He almost does get a pick there. Pretty unlucky not to. But then, yeah, once again, he's now coming pretty deep and is going to lose a Hersa for it. So the trade really in my favor. Valkyrie's coming through here to be annoying on the wood line. So we're just going to preemptively move. We're just going to grab these 3 Hersas. And they're just going to come over and say, not today, please. And we're just going to jump on a straggler tree there. There's no point messing around giving him a forest fire angle. And we're just going to wall behind them, right? This is what you do. When they leave an area, you wall the area. We're going to see him coming back again, looking for the rounds, but we're just going to posture our Hersas, get a couple of whacks, and then once again, once he leaves, you fix it up, all right? I missed an opportunity there. If he had got some damage, he might have actually killed both of those raiding cavalry, or maybe killed one, or damaged them both a bit, but he's not. Now, I know GarMadjuda style, he just makes raiding cavalry, so I'm already going to put down a barracks. Usually I would use my ravens a little better and just like double check and scout what they're making, but I know his play style, I've watched his games and seen him in this tournament. I'm already just preemptively going, we're going to make some herdmen here. Going for the Thundering Hooves instead of the other Valkyrie. Yeah, I don't know fully why I did this. Usually I'd go for another Valkyrie. But in this case, I kind of was valuing the mobility a little bit, actually. Just being able to move around and not get caught out too hard. And then you do get more HP on the raiders. So yeah, wanted to spin that favor. Maybe a Valk's better, and maybe just making more raiders is just a better call. But we're grabbing that one anyway, so that's fine. Bit of wood floating, just buy your pickaxe. Yeah, nothing too wrong with doing that. Yeah, as I said, I'm blindly making Herdman here, but I'm reasonably confident he's just going to make more raiding cavalry. And there's enough out already that 1 or 2 Herdmen would have a lot of value here. We're just going to repair that wall and waste his time. While he's doing that, we are going to find a raid of ourselves. So we're just going to click straight to his gold mine. Don't do anything special here, guys. If you know where the gold mine is, just run straight to it. You are going to idle it. I can't end up hitting the temple, but you know the goal's the same here. We idled his gold, and I'm still gathering right now. He's not fully paying attention there, probably focused on my raid, so I kind of just walk with his units, and then a couple of herdmen come out, and he just can't deal with this now. There's 2 herdmen. That's all you need, guys. He's going to kind of brute force push through here again. We'll just finish the wall behind him. But yeah, as you can see, I'm a bit more walled up, sort of like responding to where his units are going okay. He is forcing a bit of idle time, but I'm doing the same thing back. But yeah, as you can see, he's running all the way back now. He wants to kind of catch this group out, which to my point on the Thundering Hooves, I kind of like this pickup. I think if I didn't have Thundering Hooves here, this ends up actually being a disaster and I can't make these kinds of plays and I'd have to play a little more defensive. So yeah, we see, now that we have the Thundering Hooves, I think I maybe lose 1 or something. And now the Valkyries can come out. Cool beans, get another barracks, longhouse, and then jump onto the safe food, of course. But yeah, as you can see, I'm able to sort of navigate away from these guys, even with like reasonably sloppy unit control. He's not able to catch me, and I was able to make a really aggressive play, given my speed advantage. So yeah, reviewing this one here, I actually quite like my decision to grab the Thundering Hooves then. Maybe it's not the case in every game you play, but yeah. Nice little building block from him, but once again, these guys are just a bit too fast, and they're just going to kind of walk out of that one. He's going to catch one, but you know, that's totally fine. And I'm sort of saying, hey, yeah, keep chasing me, keep chasing me. I'm attacking your stuff. As you can see, he gives up on them because I'm going to take his buildings out. And as soon as I see him start repairing again, I know his other units are close, and there they are. So just kind of just respecting that my opponent is doing the right things with his units, right? Don't just wait to see it until it's too late, or flip it and be like Willy. Don't know how some of them got deselected there. Maybe my just bad clicking, but 2 or 3 of them just weren't in the group and somehow died. I'm going to drop down this forest fire. My medium cav comes through. I've heard him and have my hearses. I just want to pressure this guy. I think my unit comp is stronger because I have 2 herdmen and 4 hearses here. And then yeah, see, we'll take this fight. As you can see, herdmen, the couple of herdmen I have are getting to work, and they just do ridiculous amounts of damage. You can just see the 2 sides of the fights that they're on. They just did a lot. I think this forest fire still had some glowing ember damage just on the top side there too. I've got 4 hearses, so and he didn't really have an effective way of killing my hearses. So I'm able to win that fight there, and that's just the value of a couple of little herdmen. Really, really important. I'm going to pump out a few more, probably too many now. I think 5 or 6, probably a magic number, and then keep up the raiding cavalry and Valks. Yeah, now I'm pressuring his buildings. I know he's probably on gold and food over there too. So we're just kind of saying, you know, look, if you give me an angle to run to your vills, I will. But if you don't, then I'm just going to hear and I'm going to take your buildings. While this is obviously all going on, I'm completely untouched. And we're just adding gatherers over to gold now, as that's the resource we're a bit low on. He's got some barracks up and some gold mines, which is, you know, nice to see his control there. And he's still sort of keeping eyes on me. As soon as I kind of move for these villages, he is responding. But yeah, I kind of see how many units he has now. It's really not too many. I've got 10 herdmen. These guys will just, yeah, obliterate the units. Kind of manages to sneak those Deuterinos. So I'm not able to catch them, but they're still idled, and yeah, I'm literally diving his town center now, as he's refusing to make anything else but raiding cavalry. So GG for me. Nice little game. We finished this one up 3-0, so this is really good for us. We get a break through the quarters, and we can rest up and focus up on the semis, which will be in a week or so, something like that. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching that one. Yeah, you can hear me yapping in the background from the recording. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of content and seeing these games. Can't wait to keep showing everyone more of these Athenian League games because they've been a lot of fun. So see you guys for the next one.